Well, hello everyone. This is Chrystal Lynn, Cowgirl Astrologer, and I have a special guest. If you haven't noticed, I have the moon in Sagittarius coming to help me give this special message tonight. And I have pulled myself out from behind the scenes to say hello and see how you guys are doing and just to share some really cool astrological happenings going on right now. I know for myself, when I start getting kind of confused and feeling like, down in the mire, I really find that looking at what's going on up in the sky and seeing how the planets are, unfolding and what's going on gives me hope. It gives me encouragement. And sometimes it all looks like a blur to all of us, even those of us that are astrologers, because there's so much amazing energy going on right now. And for so many of us, because the energy is changing and the energy is really like we've never ever seen before in our lifetime. And so for a lot of us, we're learning how to ride this wave. And, so I thought I'd come on tonight and talk about what's going on. There's a lot of exciting things going on. And, just give some updates as well. Let's take a look here. Right now, we are getting ready as we speak for the moon to be moving into Capricorn tomorrow. That will be the full moon. And as you can see, it's almost full. Now, that little green dot that's up there by the moon, I have to tell you guys, because you might be going, what the heck is that thing? It's part of my computer, so I'm sorry about that. Looks kind of cool, huh? But that is the moon with a green dot from my computer next to it. The moon will move into Capricorn, and it will conjunct Pluto. Now, let's talk about this, because I think this is a very powerful and very significant happening. First of all, whenever I see the sign of Capricorn, the first thing that really comes to my mind is karma, karmic events. What is karma? I mean, what really is karma? We use these big words like karma. What is karma? Well, karma really is lessons, people, situations, things that come into your life that help you along your life path. Good or bad, it's repeating cycles, often repeating cycles, because we often don't get things the first time, do we? We have a way about us that is often bent or by nature who we are. And it's through a series of lessons, often the same thing happening over and over and over again. And the consequences of the same thing happening over and over and over again, do we finally, for some reason, takes us a while, look back and say, okay, what is going on here? Is this me? Is it what I'm attracting? Is it what I'm not paying attention to and just letting in? Is it something in my personality, that in my makeup, that, isn't in check and continues to bring this perpetual karmic situation around? And with Pluto here, Pluto is about blowing things up. It's a little tiny planet, but it's potent and often goes deep, deep down into the depth of the universe. And we can't always see it. And then boom, rises like the phoenix. But it can also be explosive. And because Pluto has been in Capricorn, we know that it has been exploding and shaking up our whole entire world system right now. Capricorn often has a lot of attributes that relate to tradition. And obviously, you guys know right now, our world is in a lot of chaos. Our belief systems, Saturn and Sagittarius, are being tested. Now, when this happens, there's so many things that come out in us, and you can see it all through Facebook and social media. people wanting to express themselves, people hurting other people. Everybody has an opinion. And, there's a lot of things I could say about that, and that might be in some future videos that we talk a little bit more about some of those things and belief systems and where they originate and what have you. But one thing I do want to say, and I want us all to remember right now, that no matter what our belief systems are, the other person on the other side of that, that's fighting for their belief systems against our belief systems, is fighting for their life, in a sense. Because often to admit that there's something wrong in your belief system isn't just about changing one part of your belief system. It becomes about changing everything, because often when we can see something from a new perspective, and we want to see something from a new perspective, that often means that we have to admit that everything we believe might not be true or might be a lie. And so the passion that you see right now for people's belief systems is not so much about your belief system, even though it's coming out that way. And I'm not defending anybody. I'm just talking about the psychological undertone of what I see going on in our world today. That when we often have to come to the truth about something, it's not enough just to say, you know what, I'm going to change my thoughts on that. Maybe I'll be more compassionate about that. Maybe I'll try to understand that perspective. Maybe I'll be kind. Maybe I'll accept that. Or, figuring out what it is. Because a lot of these belief systems, you have to remember, no matter what they are, no matter what religion, no matter what lifestyle, they're ingrained in our being. They're often imprinted in people at very young ages, sometimes brainwashed into our minds. And so when that's challenged, it's not so much about the issue that's challenging it, as much as it is the reality that if I become aware of this situation, that means this situation can't be true. And then oftentimes when that happens, it's a matter of losing family members, losing your community, having disrespect. And so what's going on right now in our world is much deeper than what's going on. Pluto in Capricorn is a long transit, because it takes a long time to really change these belief systems. This started, I believe, I want to say 2010. I'm sorry, I'll have to look back on that, or if you guys have that information of the dates of this transit. But I know it's going to move all the way into 2020 and beyond. And this is volcanic in everything that, the world has appeared to be based upon, is those structures. And so everybody's really feeling threatened, feeling lost, feeling unsure. And at the same time, Neptune in Pisces has entered in with this fresh energy. And it only happens once every 165 years, you guys. So, again, we'll go into some deeper studies about that. But this energy is all about authenticity, finding the truth in who we are, no longer living the lie, the delusion that we have to live for others. And it's a very powerful energy coming in, opening us up creatively, and allowing us to be more sensitive, allowing us to connect to others in a completely different way, on a spiritual level. And it's a beautiful thing, because when that happens, then all of the belief systems and the judgments and all of that that disappears, it dissolves, and we can see each other spiritually. And that's all at the end of the day that really matters, that we can see each other, that we can hear each other. We all have our own journeys to work out. So I'm just adding, I know this is just a few of my thoughts, and it's in compassion and in understanding and realizing when I look at astrology, I look at the charts, look at your charts, there's certain belief systems that get ingrained in us and they're passed down from generation to generation. And each generation breaks free just a little bit more. And the things that we're seeing happening right now are all designed before time to happen. We're just caught in this very pivotal moment. And everybody's in really a spiritual crisis right now. So, in respect of humanity, if we can all, I don't know. I mean, it's been really hard on me because I'm just taking in everybody's energy and I'm just like, whoa. It's almost really difficult because I see, what's going on behind the scenes of this. And again, there's a lot of confusion. And when this happens, people fall apart. People get angry. People fight. People hold on. And Saturn and Scorpio, let's talk a little bit about Saturn and Scorpio that entered June 15th. It's retrograde until September. The final showing of Saturn and Scorpio is really bringing all this to the surface now. He's got 3 months to get this done and get in there at the bottom of the core of our being. Not just our being, but the being of the world, of all of our existence. These truths are coming to the surface. So, yeah, we got a lot going on, personally and globally. We are in the beautiful age. We're moving into the beautiful age, I should say, of Aquarius. We're on the cusp of that. And so, yes, the world as we know it is changing, is ending as we know it. But in our lifetime, we have a chance right now to be a part of the positive side of this. So these are things we'll be talking about, you guys. I just, wanted to just see how you guys are doing with all this. We have Venus and Jupiter conjunct right now in Leo. I hope you guys are going to be watching, taking pictures. It'll kind of look like this. I'm sorry about that green light there. It's going to be the closest it's ever been, and they say this is a very rare conjunction that we haven't seen in like 2,000 years, as close as that they're going to be. Certain things are lining up right now, you guys, that we haven't seen, and it's ushering in new fresh energy, and yet we still have this cleansing process. We're not quite done. Saturn and Scorpio is not completely letting us free yet. So what is it that we need to look at? What is it that we need to do? I think it's about really looking at the truth as we know it. Looking at those patterns in our life. The next few days in this full moon will be about bringing awareness to those cycles, those karmic patterns that we have that keep us in this prison. Venus and Jupiter right now are lighting the way, saying, all right, you guys, come on. There's a light at the end of this tunnel. Don't give up. You're so close now. Saturn, we fear Saturn. I mean, Saturn, because let's face it. He brings reality. He's a big hitter, and he flattens out things. He just comes in and says, this is the reality of it. And you can't change that. You have to face it head on. With integrity, with truth, and being true to yourself. This is a very important time to look at those patterns and say, is there something that I'm doing? Is there something that I'm doing in my being that adds to each situation that creates this pattern. Because we could blame other people. What are they doing? What are they doing to irritate us? Or are they doing something to ignite us? Or something to make us mad? But at the end of the day, we have to answer for our own words, our own issues. We have to answer for our own, our own decisions, good or bad. We make decisions at the time based on the energy at the time. And understanding the energy that's going on helps us to make better decisions. So I believe that's where astrology is really powerful. Right now, we also have the Sun and Mars in Cancer. So there's a lot of issues going back to home right now. Going back to the home, going back to what we really want, going back to our security. Because we have a lot of planets retrograde, we have Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto retrograde. Retrogrades bring back energy of the past and help us to possibly see it in a completely different way. Help us to review things or have people come back into our lives to heal things. Because there's something about the fundamental aspects of energy. I don't know if that's how I would put that, but it sounded good at the moment. The fundamental principles, should I say, of energy is you can't take something good in when you still have old stuff that's filling up space. We all have a lot of energy from the past that we've been working through the last few years. Saturn and Scorpio has been really driving home truthful issues, having us look, having us face them head on. So where are you now? Where are we? As we go into this 3-month period, we really have to take a look. How do we want to come out of it in 3 months? What do you want your story to look like? I say that often because, how we handle this energy has a lot to do with our free will. Astrology gives us energy, possibilities, but we have free will. And if we use our understanding, then we have the ability to continue to figure out how to make the most out of this, how to be the best at our own lives. And that's not easy. It's not easy. I am not standing up here telling you that it's easy at all. I have, just today, I was talking to a buddy of mine on Facebook, and I was like, oh, I can't talk. I can't think because with this watery energy going on in my moon in Pisces, I'd like to just hide from all the issues, bury my head in the sand. But then I have to ask myself, do I have something to add? Maybe I'm just adding a different perspective tonight. I'm not debating. I'm not talking about it. I mean, I'm working all these things out in my own mind of how they play out in the world. And it's exciting times, but they're intense. And how are we contributing to it? What are we really afraid of? Is it really truthful fear? Is it really the fear we need for this day and age? These are things to look at. Because if we continue to hang on to fear of change, then there's no opportunity, there's no open door, there's no place to go. And we have to look at these things. We have to look at these things differently. Our world is changing. And it's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. So, you guys, all that being said, those are just a few things that are going on right now. I cannot wait to talk more about Jupiter moving into Virgo in August and all of the things that will be happening. Right now, I just really believe that this is a time that we're still kind of working it out. I wish we could say we have the full green light to go and not look back, but we're not quite there. So use this time wisely And also, you guys, I want to thank you all for your awesome support on my Rising Sign series. If you have not watched it, I hope that you will. I've done all 12 rising signs, and they're pretty extensive. They're like about 30 minutes long, and I go into all the houses, and I have a few guests throughout my series, so you guys can check that out. And I did that for you so that you guys could really understand the themes that play out and have a little bit better knowledge of some of the things that you might go through. If you are right now in a space that you're just not seeing clearly and you'd like some help, I would love to help you with your chart. I can look at your chart, see what's going on, where are you at, what's going on for the year ahead, and how to ride this energy. Because knowledge is power, you guys. I do a 15-minute video reading if you want an update for the year, and I go into specific things that are going on for your chart, or I can answer questions. I also do 30-minute Skype, and I'm having a special this week until Sunday. $65 for 30 minutes or $65 for a 15-minute video reading. So if you'd like to take advantage of that, you can order your reading. Even if you can't do it this week, you want to get it ordered, you can get the special price at cowgirlastrologer.com. Come and see me, and let's make a plan to get through this energy in the just most awesome way, you guys. So I love you. If you have any questions, please comment below, because I always like to hear that as well. And I hope you're having a great night, and happy full moon in Capricorn. All right, you guys, take care.